While I was at sniper school, SOTIC, Special Forces Target Interdiction Course, which is the premier standard for snipers out there, we did this exercise called Stalking, where we would start from a designated point and then we would get as close to an objective as possible, take a shot, and then the instructors would conduct counter sniper operation and see if they could identify where that shot came from. One of the techniques that I used to use, I would wait until my classmates get into the FFP, their final firing position, and then I would get some offset and I would find a position behind them. And my thought process behind that was, if I took a shot before they did and the instructor turns and he starts looking for who took the shot, the possibilities of them finding my classmates that were in front of me before they did me was a lot higher. And I did that successfully multiple times throughout the sniper course. Why am I sharing this with you? Let's get into it. I don't know why this isn't being talked about on social media or within the news realm, but did you guys know that the day after the assassination attempt on former President Trump, CNN, their audio forensic department, reported that there were 3 different guns on that scene? Because I don't hear that anywhere on social media. I don't hear anybody talking about this. And it took me a while to wrap my head around this. It took me listening to the shooting several times to pick it out and start to make sense of this, right? And then I went on the internet and I started doing some research and I found this video that explains everything in detail. That video, coupled with my experience and a technique that I used to use myself as a student in sniper school, kind of led me to this conclusion. And my conclusion is there were 3 different guns on that scene, on the X, right? Here, listen to the shooting in its entirety. And then what we're gonna do is, using this video that I found on YouTube, we're gonna isolate each clip, each gun individually, and then talk about it, right? So here's the shooting in its entirety. Now, there's a lot of chaos going on. You have people yelling, you have people screaming, because to the untrained ear, all you hear is gunshots. Now, listening to these sounds, several different things has the ability to affect how the rounds are gonna sound. Distance, how far the shooter is. Cadence, the time in between each round. And is it muffled? Because that'll tell you whether or not the shooter has a suppressor or if they don't. Several different factors plays into this. Now, that's the initial shooting within its entirety. Let's listen to all these different sounds individually. So this is the first gun right here. Take a listen.
Here's just the first 3 shots from that video. I haven't done anything, no audio, I haven't done any enhancements. This is both of these video audio pieces are exactly pulled straight from the video itself. Nothing else. I haven't boosted any, I haven't done any filtering. Raw files, okay? So, and by the way, every instinct in me was to try and minimize all the screaming, but I was like, nope, that just, like, what did you do? And then there's questions. These are raw files. Here's 1, 2, and 3 to start. Okay, listen to that again. And one more time. Okay.
All right, guys. Now, this is 3 separate rounds. 1, 2, 3. Whoever took these 3 shots had some standoff. They were a lot further away than that 150 yards that has become synonymous with the deceased shooter. You can tell whoever took these 3 shots took some times in between. And that was probably done because of, 1, calculation, checking on winds, breathing, making sure he was on target. So those were the first 3 rounds that were fired towards the president. And as I'm thinking about this, as I'm putting all of this together, that was your professional that actually hit the president. Because had he not moved, that's the guy that would have killed the actual president. Because he was further away. He was practicing his fundamentals, his marksmanship fundamentals, his breathing, his trigger squeeze, right? He was on target to do his job if the president hadn't moved. Take a listen at the second set of shots.
Now let's listen to the next string. Ooh. Yeah. Hear that?
Yeah.
So 6 sounds different to me, but here's an interesting thing. 1, 2, and 3, besides being muffled and further away, it doesn't have echoes. Here we have, this is a shot here, this one, this peak. Oh, darn it, I don't have my thing up again. Here we go. So this here is a shot. This is an echo. Very clearly an echo, and a shot in an echo, and a shot in an echo. So this is actually critical evidence, because you hear that, there's echoes coming off. So that also allows us, again, to analyze where was this gun. But first up, we just have an absolutely different sound between the first 3. There's no echo, it's much further away, it's more muffled, it's just not in the same place at all. But these next ones, very different sound, totally different weapons. Okay, full stop, we have 2 separate weapons, plus we have no echoes coming off of the first 3, and then we do have echoes coming off of the next set.
This segment is brought to you by Iconic Medical, the all-in-one health wellness place, specializing in TRT and several other treatment for men. At just $175 a month, TRT is not only affordable, but very, very convenient. Check out the information in the description box below and get the help you need right now at Iconic Medical. Gun number 1 and gun number 2 are 2 completely different guns. Sound number 1 and sound number 2 are completely different sound. I think sound number 2 came from the deceased shooter. You listen to the cadence, a lot different. Definitely a lot closer than shooter number 1. Definitely more sporadic. More than likely, shooter number 1 took shot, grazed the president, shooter number 2 engaged, killed a bystander, and injured those other individuals. Gun number 3, 1 single shot. That came from the Secret Service sniper who took out the gunman. This is what I think happened, guys. I think that the powers that be were watching the debate and they saw just how horrible President Biden was doing, and they realized they had to come up with a different plan. All right. Once they saw that, they found somebody that was already within their circle, that was already within their grasp that they can activate, and they chose to use them, right? And using them, this is the tactical plan that they came up with. Just like I used to do in sniper school, they put him in front of the actual sniper, and when shots were taken, that Secret Service sniper revert back to what he knew, to what his training was. He turned in that general direction, started mowing the lawn is what we call it, right? He started looking for the actual shooter. And as soon as he found it, engaged, and he didn't bother going past that shooter, thus allowing the second shooter to get away, all right? That's what I think happened. Also, you also got to think of the psyop that's actually taking place. Fucking brilliant. It's actually pretty fucking good, right? Because we as a nation, or the entire world, we're so focused on the Secret Service fucking up. We're so focused on the shooter and how he was able to gain access to the building, how they saw him playing around with a rangefinder, how they saw him climbing on the building, how they saw him doing all of this stuff and nobody said anything, right? We've been given a narrative to focus on, and that's what everyone is focusing on, to include myself, until I started doing this research, right? We're all focusing on the Secret Service, they're incompetent, how this shooter's 20 years old and he was able to do all of this stuff. But what are we not talking about? Shooter number 2, right? Not talking about that dude. That's the psyop right there, right? And it's a brilliant move because it worked. But I know all the other military guys that are out there that are trained, spidey senses are starting to tingle, right? Like, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense. For starters, 150 yards, easy shot. And then him gaining access, it's way too easy. Something else is going on. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And this is a message to the politicians that are out there. If you're a politician and you're currently in DC, you should worry about this. You should take a closer look at this, because I'm not saying this to, start like division or to start like riots. Like, I just want you guys to start thinking like we do. But if you're in government, if this level of operation was able to take place against a candidate that is running, then what's to stop them from not doing it to you? Who is them? I don't know, but somebody orchestrated this. This wasn't a lone wolf attack. You got to keep in mind, wolves don't run alone. They run in packs. And if you're a lone wolf, then you probably got injured and was left behind to die, right? So be smart on how you look at these different issues in this situation right here. With social media and phones everywhere, it's hard for people to get away with these type of actions, right? Cameras eventually are gonna catch something. They're gonna catch audio that shows that there were 3 separate guns on that X, on that scene, instead of just 2. They're gonna look at the video footage that shows that, hey, on the first 3 shots, the deceased shooter's elbow didn't move. There was no recoil, right? And anyone that shot a gun knows, especially any type of AR platform like a 223, when you shoot that thing, there's kickback. You're gonna move. But if you look at the shooter on top of that roof, those first 3 shots, he didn't move at all, because that wasn't him taking those shots, right? Guys, I just wanted to come on here and share this with you. Do me a favor, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. Until next time, take care of yourselves.